Hello, I'm Sue Halliwell, Operations Manager at Composites UK, and this presentation, prepared by the UK Government, is designed to help you prepare for the 1st of January 2021. There are two critical points that I want to get across in this webinar. Firstly, that on the 31st of January 2020, the UK left the European Union. We are now nearing the end of the transition period that lasts until the end of this year. This will not be extended. Secondly, that from January 2021, there will be some significant changes to the way businesses trade and operate in the UK, for which businesses need to prepare. The aim of this presentation to businesses is to firstly remind you that the government is offering continued support in light of the coronavirus pandemic. Secondly, we want to help you identify areas where you can take some immediate steps to get ready for the changes that will occur in January. And finally, this presentation will point you to some of the resources currently available on the government website that can guide you through the actions you need to take. Before we begin talking about the end of the transition period, it is important that we acknowledge the impact that coronavirus has had on businesses in the UK. We are all responding to a global pandemic, which has challenged and changed the way we live and do business. Whilst many businesses would have been preparing for the end of the transition period over the past year, we recognise the impact the pandemic will have had on their ability to prepare and plan. Government continues to support businesses through this difficult period, and we remind you that there are financial support packages available to help businesses of all sizes. And there is also detailed guidance on operating safely throughout this period. More information on the support measures available can be found on the Government and Composites UK websites. Despite the challenging circumstances presented by coronavirus, businesses still need to prepare for the end of the transition period. The UK has left the EU, and the UK will leave the single market and customs union at the end of the transition period. The transition period will end on the 31st of December, and there will be no extension. From January 2021, there will be a new relationship with the EU, and this is a chance for the UK to set its own rules that are beneficial to UK businesses. But with the end of the transition period comes a series of changes and opportunities that businesses will need to prepare for. Businesses will need to make changes regardless of the agreement we reach with the European Union. And there are a number of actions that businesses can take now. By putting in the work to prepare now, businesses can make sure they are ready to seize the opportunities available to a sovereign United Kingdom. For instance, we want you to be ready to grow as we regulate our industries in a way that works for them. We also want our exporters to be ready to take advantage of new free trade agreements with the fastest growing economies around the world. To do this, you will need to check what you need to do to be ready for January 2021 and make any necessary changes. It is important to understand that there will be new trading opportunities from January 2021. As we have left the EU, we can negotiate new free trade agreements. Our new free trade agreements seek to secure benefits for every region and nation of the UK. Free trade negotiations have already begun with the United States, Australia, and New Zealand, and a free trade agreement has been agreed in principle with Japan. Government will work to open markets for UK exporters in all parts of the world and reduce trade barriers. The UK is currently seeking to sign trade continuity agreements with trading partners. These will replicate the effects of the existing EU trade agreements and help ensure continuity for UK businesses following the transition period. The current EU trade agreements will cease to apply to the UK after the transition period ends. This will be the case even if there is a free trade agreement with the EU. To date, the UK has signed 20 trade continuity agreements with 48 countries. Trade with these countries accounted for £111 billion worth of UK trade in 2019. Amongst these countries are trading partners such as Switzerland, South Korea, and South Africa. And there is a list of all signed agreements on the government website. Once in place, signed trade continuity agreements will allow UK businesses to continue trading as they do today after the transition period. They are expected to take effect when existing EU trade agreements no longer apply to the UK from the 1st of January 2021. The government is continuing with this programme to replicate the effects of existing EU trade agreements with trading partners. Businesses should check the government website for the latest on the state of play on this work. If they do not reproduce the effects of an existing EU agreement for the end of the transition period, trade with other World Trade Organization members will take place on WTO terms when EU trade agreements cease to apply to the UK. As I've said, the end of the transition period will mean changes to the way businesses trade and operate. I'm going to take you through a few key points. There will be changes to the way businesses can move goods across the border. For instance, businesses will need a UK Economic Operator Registration and Identification, or Iori number, to move goods between the UK and the EU. How businesses provide services in EU markets. For example, there will be changes for business travellers to consider including the use of passports and driving licences. The immigration status of workforces. Most notably, there will be new rules on employing people from outside the UK as part of our new points-based immigration system. Businesses need to understand how changes will affect them and prepare accordingly to ensure they can continue operating from the 1st of January. Advice on what action businesses should take is available on the Government and Composites UK websites. The government has created an online tool to make it easier for businesses to identify the specific actions they need to take in the coming months. This can be accessed at gov.uk/transition. The Checker tool will take businesses through a series of simple questions covering topics like their employees' nationality, the sector they operate within, and their data handling practices. I'll show you a few examples on the next slide. Once a business has answered these questions, they are taken to a page with a list of relevant guidance that corresponds to their answers. This list will let businesses know what actions they need to take to be ready for January 2021. This guidance will be revised as negotiations continue and corresponding policy is confirmed. We encourage business to stay up to date on any changes by signing up for email alerts and Composites UK member bulletins. These will let you know when any of the guidance relevant to your business is updated. Here's some examples of the kinds of questions included in the Checker tool. Other questions include whether a business receives EU funding, or whether a business relies on intellectual property. These all help to identify the relevant actions that a business will need to take. As I've mentioned, there will be a range of changes for businesses. Today, I'm going to focus on 5 areas and highlight some of the things that businesses can do to prepare now. I'm going to talk about importing and exporting, placing goods on the market, hiring staff, providing services, and using personal data. From the 1st of January 2021, if a business trades with the EU, There will be changes for moving goods which they will need to prepare for. These changes will be introduced in 3 stages. The first stage will take place from the 1st of January 2021. Within the EU, there will be full customs controls for exports. From the 1st of January, export declarations and UK exit safety and security declarations will be required for all goods. Traders importing goods will need to prepare for customs requirements, such as customs declarations. Businesses will also need to consider how they account for and pay VAT on imported goods. Unless a business is importing goods that are controlled, they can opt to delay customs declarations for up to 6 months. They must make sure they keep sufficient records of imported goods. While tariffs may be payable where due on relevant goods, duty payments can be deferred until the customs declaration has been made. UK safety and security declarations will not be required on imports for the first 6 months. Customs declarations will be needed from the 1st of January 2021 for controlled goods and excise goods like alcohol and tobacco products. There will also be physical checks at the point of destination or other approved premises on all high-risk live animal and plants, and a requirement to pre-notify for certain movements, but they will not be required to enter Great Britain via a border control post. The second stage takes place from the 1st of April 2021, when all products of animal origin, for example meat, honey, milk or egg products, and all regulated plants and plant products will also require pre-notification and the relevant health documentation. Physical checks will continue to be conducted at the point of destination. The third stage takes place from the 1st of July 2021, when there will be full controls in place for all goods. For any goods businesses are moving, they will have to make full customs declarations at the point of importation and pay relevant tariffs. Full safety and security declarations will be required, while for commodities subject to sanitary and phytosanitary controls, these will have to be presented to border control posts, and there will be an increase in physical checks and taking samples. There are several actions businesses can take to prepare for these changes. Here are some key actions businesses should take to get started. Make sure they have an economic operator registration and identification number, otherwise known as Iori, starting with GB. This is required for all businesses moving goods into or out of GB. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to apply, and a business should receive their Iori number within a week. VAT registered businesses were previously automatically enrolled for an Iori number, so they should check whether they already have a number before applying. For further information, businesses should visit the government website. Businesses should consider using a customs intermediary, such as a fast parcel operator or a freight forwarder, to make declarations for them and simplify the process. Intermediaries can help businesses to find the information needed to complete formalities and submit the required declarations, for example, customs information to HMRC systems. Businesses should check if their goods need an import or export license, e.g. for chemicals, and if so, apply for what they need. Businesses should also make sure they understand their VAT responsibilities and what they may have to pay. Finally, businesses should consider if they want to make use of deferred declarations if they import goods. If a business imports goods regularly, they may benefit from having a duty deferment account. This enables customs charges, including customs duty, excise duty, and import VAT, to be paid once a month through direct debit instead of being paid on individual consignments. If a business fails to comply with the new customs procedures in place, they won't be able to import or export goods. I've covered here some of the steps needed to get your business ready for importing and exporting from January. You can find more detailed information, including process flows, on the Government and Composites UK websites. I'm going to provide you with an overview on placing goods on the Great British and EU markets from January 2021. This guidance does not apply to placing goods on the market in Northern Ireland or to goods moving between Northern Ireland and Great Britain. I'll give you information on this later. There is different guidance depending on what regulation applies to a business's goods. To ensure you are following the right guidance for your business, you should check which regulations apply to your products. This may seem like an obvious point, but manufactured goods are regulated in different ways and are covered by different UK and EU rules. Firstly, new approach goods, for example, toys and machinery, most of these can be identified by the CE marking. Most CE marked goods can still be placed on the UK market until the 1st of January 2022. This may be longer for some goods, and I would encourage businesses to consult their sector-specific guidance. From January 2022, for most new approach goods, businesses will need to use the UK's new product marking, the UK CA mark. Secondly, old approach goods, which are covered by standalone regulations, for example, cars and medicines. Any changes for these goods will be specific to what a business is selling. Thirdly, non-harmonised goods such as furniture and foodstuffs. For these goods, there will no longer be mutual recognition for goods between GB and the EU. Please check the online guidance for these products. The next slide will cover the changes that apply to most new approach goods. Although there are specific rules for some goods, including medical devices, construction products, civil explosives, and products requiring eco-design and energy labelling. Now I'll cover placing new approach goods on the GB and EU market. If a business has already placed CE marked goods on the GB or EU market before the 1st of January 2021, they don't need to take any action for these goods. Businesses are encouraged to start using the UK CA mark as soon as possible after the 1st of January 2021. However, to allow businesses time to adjust, CE marked goods that meet EU requirements can continue to be placed on the GB market until the 1st of January 2022 in most cases. Longer for some sectors such as medical devices and transportable pressure equipment. This is true even where an EU notified body has been used. From January 2022, businesses will need to use the new UK CA mark on most new goods. For 24 months after the 1st of January 2021 until the 1st of January 2023, for most new approach goods, businesses will have the option to affix the UK CA marking on a label affixed to the product or on an accompanying document. From the 1st of January 2021 for the EU market, there will be changes. There will be no transitional measures for placing new goods on the EU market. Businesses must take steps to ensure compliance with EU requirements by the 1st of January 2021. At the end of the transition period, the Northern Ireland Protocol, otherwise known as the Protocol, will take effect. The Protocol is a practical solution to avoid a hard border with Ireland, whilst ensuring the UK, including Northern Ireland, leaves the EU as a whole, enabling the entire UK to benefit from future trade agreements. The Northern Ireland Protocol comes into effect on the 1st of January 2021. There will be special provisions which apply only in Northern Ireland while the protocol is in force. The protocol is not designed as a permanent solution, but to address any issues and ensure the UK, including Northern Ireland, leaves the EU as a whole. The protocol will involve some changes for goods movements into Northern Ireland from Great Britain. The unrestricted access policy will ensure that businesses and individuals will be able to move goods from Northern Ireland into the rest of the United Kingdom on the same basis as it already is. The trade in goods between Northern Ireland and Ireland will be unaffected, and there will be no new customs infrastructure required in Northern Ireland. The protocol will result in some new administrative processes for traders. Notably, there will be new digital import declaration requirements and digital safety and security information for goods entering Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. Negotiations are underway and will continue with the EU. Full support and guidance will be provided by the end of the transition period. The UK government has established a new free service, the Trader Support Service, otherwise known as TSS. The TSS will guide you through any changes due to the implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. TSS provides an end-to-end service which guides traders through all important processes. It can also be used to complete digital declarations at no additional cost. The Trader Support Service registration portal is now open, and we advise that you register now to benefit from the free online training courses available that will provide you with the skills and expertise you need to ensure your GB/NI trade continues to operate smoothly. You will need to make sure you have an Economic Operators Registration and Identification, otherwise known as Iori Number. This number is required to move goods between the UK, including Northern Ireland, and non-EU countries. The Iori number should start with GB. If you have an existing number without the GB prefix, we recommend that you apply for a new one. We advise you apply for an Iori number, which takes about a week to process. If you do not have one, this may lead to increased costs and delays if HMRC are unable to clear your goods, which may result in storage fees. I recommend you sign up for the free Trader Support Service, which will guide you through any changes to the way goods move between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Further information is available on the Northern Ireland Protocol by visiting the government website and through the links on this slide. Now I'm going to cover hiring staff from outside the UK and Ireland. From the 1st of January 2021, free movement between the UK and EU will end, and the UK will be introducing a points-based immigration system. The new system will introduce job, salary, and language requirements that may impact on the ability to hire from the EU. This system will provide simple, effective, and flexible arrangements for businesses to recruit skilled workers from around the world. I'm going to highlight a few things that will help businesses to prepare for the changes. From the 1st of January 2021, if you want to recruit workers from outside the UK, you will need to ensure 4 key points are in place. Firstly, that you are a Home Office licensed sponsor. Secondly, that the job on offer is at the required skill level, RFQ3 or above, so A-level or equivalent. Thirdly, that the job on offer pays at least the required minimum salary level. And fourthly, that the candidate speaks English to the required standard. If a business is not already a licensed sponsor and they want to sponsor migrants through the skilled worker route from January 2021, then they should apply now. An application to become a licensed sponsor usually takes 8 weeks, and if successful, the license will be valid for 4 years. You can find further information by searching for New Immigration System on the government website. Currently, EU citizens have the right to move freely within the EU and the right to reside in any EU member state. Free movement of workers between the UK and EU will come to an end after the transition period on the 1st of January 2021, and the UK will be introducing a points-based immigration system. The points system will not apply to any EU citizens living in the UK before the 31st of December 2020 or their family members. They will be able to apply to the EU settlement scheme before the 30th of June 2021. Further information is available by searching for EU Settlement Scheme Employer Toolkit on the government.uk website. Now I'm going to provide you with an overview of what businesses will need to do to continue to provide services to EU markets from the 1st of January 2021. If a business operates in a service sector in the EU or European Free Trade Association, or EFTA country, then some changes may be required. The EFTA region includes Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. For a UK business or professional providing services in the EU or EFTA region, they will need to check the national regulations of the country they're doing business in to understand how best to operate. There will also be changes to travelling to the EU for business. Businesses can read advice about travelling to specific countries, including travel entry requirements and how to stay safe while they're there. Businesses need to check if a visa, work permit, or other documentation is required for the type of work they will be carrying out. Visa-free business travel will only be permitted under certain circumstances, for example, for business meetings or conferences for 90 days in any 180 days. Businesses must ensure they apply for visas or work permits in sufficient time in advance of travel, and that passports have at least 6 months validity on the day of travel and for the duration of the stay. If action is not taken to check and acquire a visa, work permit, or other documentation required, businesses may face additional costs, administrative barriers, and delays as a result. There may also be changes if businesses have a recognised professional qualification. They will need to have their UK professional qualification officially recognised if they want to work in a profession that is regulated in the EU or EFTA. They will need to be recognised by the appropriate regulator for their profession in each country where they intend to work. They will need to do this even if they are providing temporary or occasional professional services. We recommend businesses search on the government website for selling services to the EU, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein from 1st of January 2021. The UK will no longer operate under the EU regulations for cross-border trade and services from the 1st of January 2021. This means that the rights and protections provided by the EU directives and EU treaty rights of freedom of movement and freedom of establishment will no longer apply to the UK. UK businesses will no longer be treated as if they were local businesses with services provided by UK businesses and professionals being regarded as the originating from a third country. This means there may be new rules that they need to comply with, depending on which member state and what sector or sectors they operate in. Investment in EU businesses or in the establishment of businesses within the EU will also be affected. UK businesses might face regular restrictions on their ability to own, manage, or direct a company registered in an EFTA country from the 1st of January 2021. Businesses should prepare for changes such as additional requirements on the nationality or residency of senior managers or directors. There may also be limits on the amount of equity that can be held by non-EU or non-EFTA nationals. UK companies and limited liability partnerships that have their central administration or principal place of business in certain EU member states may no longer have their limited liability recognised. Some member states require individuals to hold an EU or EFTA nationality or residency to own, manage, or direct a company in their country. More information can be found on searching Structuring Your Business from January 2021 on the Government UK website. I'm now going to provide you with an overview of what businesses may need to do to prepare for any new rules around data protection from the 1st of January 2021. Regardless of whether the EU and the UK agreed a trade deal, if a business needs to continue to receive personal data from the EU for business use, they may need to take action on data protection. Here's a little background information I want to share with you. The EU has an established way of allowing the unrestricted transfer of personal data to countries outside the EU called adequacy decisions. It is the EU that decides if the UK's data protection framework provides adequate protection for individuals' rights and freedoms for their personal data. The UK is seeking adequacy decisions from the EU under both the GDPR and the Law Enforcement Directive. The EU's data adequacy assessment of the UK is currently underway. At the end of the transition period, if the UK has not received data adequacy decisions, the free flow of personal data from the EU to the UK will end. To continue to lawfully receive personal data from the EU, alternative transfer mechanisms will be required, as outlined in the EU GDPR. If the appropriate protections are not put in place, EU organisations could be operating unlawfully and face regulatory action. This could have a knock-on effect for UK businesses, resulting in EU organisations ceasing to send personal data to the UK if the appropriate mechanisms are not in place. Also, without adequacy decisions being in place, the data protection provisions of the withdrawal agreement will come into effect. This requires certain personal data a business may hold to be protected in line with EU data law, as is stood at the end of the transition period. Further guidance is available online by searching for Using Personal Data from 2021 on the government website. Businesses will need to prepare for any new rules around personal data. If no UK adequacy data decisions have been made by the end of the transition period, UK businesses will need to map out data flows with their EU partners and put alternative transfer mechanisms in place. Most commonly, this will require standard contractual clauses being put in place. This will ensure that they continue to lawfully receive data from the EU organisations. Businesses will also need to familiarise themselves with the data protection provisions of the withdrawal agreement to ensure they are in a position to comply. Please ensure that you carry out the required checks to make sure that your business can continue to legally receive personal data from organisations in the EU from January 2021. I'd recommend you visit the Information Commissioner's Office, ICO, website, as they have more detailed guidance on any additional steps businesses may need to take and an interactive standard contractual clauses tool to use. Businesses can also stay up to date with the latest information and guidance on the government and the ICO websites. Government recommends that businesses complete these actions in case the UK data adequacy decisions are not in place by the 31st of December 2020. Please also ensure you allow enough time to complete any actions, as timescales will vary dependent on the complexity of the data flows and a business's available resources. The information I've just covered is only a starting point to the actions that businesses might need to take to be prepared for our new relationship with the EU. It's really important that businesses access the more detailed guidance available online. We've included QR codes here that will bring businesses straight to relevant guidance on coronavirus support and our end of transition period guidance. You can also take advantage of some of the webinars that government will be delivering. So just to summarise, there are a few key messages. We've already left the EU. The transition period will end on the 31st of December this year. There will be no extension. Businesses need to take action now to prepare. You should start by visiting the government website. You can find links to all the detailed government information on the Composites UK Brexit website pages. If you have any inquiries, please don't hesitate to contact the Composites UK office and we will do our best to help you. Thank you for listening.